Moses, my man, Ben Aman, Amram, Ben Amram family tree. Morocco, Israel, Myman like Maimonides. Love the Ahchwa time, man. She's been dropping it in the ether on the Moshe Maimonides. Let's back up, man. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, man. Let's take it to the top. The whole story starts. The whole story begins with a sinless man. Matter of fact, there's a few. We're just talking Amram. In the apocryphal testament of Levi, it is stated that Amram was born as a grandson of Levi. So Amram was born as a grandson of Levi when Levi was 64 years old. The Exodus Rabbah argues that when the Pharaoh introduced midwives to throw male children into the Nile, Amram divorced Jochebed, who was then 3 months pregnant with Moses at the time, arguing that there was no justification for the Israelite men to father children if they were just to be killed. However, the text goes on to state that Miriam, his daughter, chided him for his lack of care for his wife's feelings, persuading him to recant and marry Jochebed again. According to the Talmud, Amram probably promulgated the laws of marriage and divorce amongst the Jews in Egypt. The Talmud also argues that Amram had extreme longevity. We're talking about one of the sinless men. I mean, if I ask you, who died without transgressing the law? Who died without sin, without transgressing the law? It starts to become clear when I said who died without transgressing the law. What's the law? Well, now you can break it down. Who's bringing out the law? Moshe. Which one? Because it's phantoms and duplications. Hey, man. You got the biblical Moses, right? You got Moses the Black. You got Moses Maimonides. I mean, hey, man, choose your Moses, man. Hey, choose your Joshua, man. You're going to get what the prophecy of Joshua. I've never seen this before, so I'm digging around in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Don't mind me. I'm digging around in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And it's a beautiful thing. But what does it mean? Are we talking fountain of youth? It says Amram had extreme longevity. I don't just want to skip over that. I want to know what extreme longevity means. Because we're going to talk about the term forever. We're going to apply forever the way that our Creator applies forever when digging on the priest king, Prester John, right? Dawid, forever king. Forever. What's extreme longevity? And what's the function of the Prester? So the Talmud also argues that Amram had extreme longevity, which he used to ensure that doctrines were preserved through several generations. So he used his extreme longevity to ensure that doctrines or the law was preserved through several generations. I mean, We don't talk about the extreme longevity of Amram very often. Hey, man, we don't talk about the visions of Amram very often. But we're going to do it tonight. We're going to do it today. We're going to surf the wave. I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Shabbat Shalom. Tribe up. Extreme longevity. Okay. Which he used to ensure that doctrines were preserved through several generations. Despite the legend of his divorce and remarriage, Amram was also held to have been entirely sinless. Extreme longevity, sinless man. Throughout his life, who died without transgressing the law? Well, 1, you better say Amram. 2, you better say Jesse. 3, you better say Benjamin. 4, you better say Kilia or Daniel, the son of David, the second son of David. And it only takes, someone truly willing to, find and see clearly, to start to connect us as you are, as you are becoming. And I'm witnessing it with you, So thank you. Tawada to you. Let's go. Who's the sinless man? We talking Amram. He was rewarded for this. Listen up, man. Listen up. Hold up, man. Make sure you hear me clearly. Who's the sinless man? You talking Amram? He was rewarded for his sinlessness, right? His perfection. Because all you hear about is just, phantom duplication. I mean, we can't let our foot off the neck of this hijack because our brothers and sisters are lost in it today. They want to flip it all kind of ways, but they're lost in the hijack. It got them in a loop. Because they say someone died for our sins. And that immediately takes away, all the reality of you dying, man. Dying so much that it became the symbol of death. That naga hung on a tree. Gotta see clearly. Who's the sinless man? They got in mind that someone died without sin for you. Ezekiel bore the sins of Israel for over 430 years, man. 430 days straight, representing the 430 years of Israel and Judah's combined sin. 430 years of combined sin, man. Ezekiel had to bear it for 430 days. Who's the sinless man? Because even Ezekiel was said to be without blemish. He was a lamb without blemish. He was without blemish. Who's the sinless man? Amram was also held to have been entirely sinless throughout his life and was rewarded for this by his corpse remaining without any signs of decay. Stop. When have you heard this before? I mean, what does it mean to, for the Most High to preserve your body? I mean, it's all good when you're surfing away. Nah, man, come on, man. Yeah, man. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto Mount Nebo to the top of Pisgah. We know all this is in Udall. Been in Udall. Because you from Udall, Judah. That is over against Jericho. All these cities are in Udall. And Ahchwa showed him all the land, even Gilead, as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh. And it's real interesting when you got this, Israel on Israel war. It appears to be with Sylvanus to Texas and Theodorus, Nehemiah. They also call him Makir. And this is a family name of theirs. And you see how it connects directly with Manasseh. Let's go. And all the land of Judah as far as the hinder sea, and the south and the plain, even the valley of Jericho, and the city of palm trees, as far as Zoar. And Ahchwa said unto him, This is the land which I swore unto Abraham, unto Isaac, unto Jacob, saying, I will give it unto thy seed. I have caused thee to see it with your eyes, man. But you shall not go over there. So Moses, the servant of Ahchwa, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of Ahchwa, and he was buried in the valley in the land of Moab against Beth Peor, and no man knows of his sepulture unto this day. So, don't mind us for, having a theory or two. No man knows, right? Don't mind us for surfing the wave of all possibilities. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim. Remember, Moses is the son of Amram, the sinless man. Just like David, right? He comes from a sinless man. Coincidence? And we're comparing the Moses and David frequency a lot. And the dividing, or actually the unifying factor, is when we start digging on, all these so-called sources and legends and, all this drop behind this title of this function of this Prester John, who seems to be sort of a unifying factor that combined the energy of David and the energy of Moshe. And it was Ronald Sanders in the Lost Tribes of Promised Land who really, pointed out with the tribes of Moses, the Johannes, the John Johannes, and this Prester John situation that was connected with these specific tribe of Moses. Because, even though Moses is of the tribe of Levi, he has his own tribe. Moses has his own tribe. Call it a mixed multitude, call it Abyssinia, call it Ethiopia. His tribe consists of, some of the Kenites. We got to get back on those Kenites, who is of the tribe of Reuel or Jethro. Some scriptures say Midianites, but, you start digging on, especially the book of Jasher, you start getting to the Kenites, and they pin him directly with, Moses's father-in-law, Reuel. So Moses died, over against Beth Peor. No man knows of his scepter unto this day. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim. Here we go. So we were just digging on this Amram. Who has extreme longevity. And as a, reward for living this sinless life. He was rewarded for this by his corpse remaining without any signs of decay. So we're just putting it all together, taking our time with this. We're taking our time with this. Because right here, Moses dies. His eyes was not dim, his natural force, nor was his natural force abated. And we say, what does that mean? His eyes was not dim, nor was his natural force abated. Clearly, it seems like he still kept his force. And I said, well, what is abated? What is abated? Abate, a verb. To lessen, to reduce, to remove. So his life force, his natural life force was never removed. I need y'all to understand this law we talking about. We're talking the lawgiver. We're talking to Moshe. We're talking to Maima. Let's get it. Hey, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2:14 on a nice breezy fallish, California night, man. Early morning, I'm over here sneaking away. You know what I'm saying? I'm hiding again in my car, man, You know what I'm saying? My kid, man, he's over there letting them lungs blow, you know what I mean? So any way I can get to y'all, I do that with the natural force. Shout out to the bro. Nor was his natural force abated or lessened, reduced, removed. Okay. All right. So Moses' natural force was never removed, man. Sounds like a forever situation, So how do you die and your natural force never be removed? You can go back in that book, Prester John Legend and Sources, and it does have some drop, in the kingdom of Prester John, about how they would not only have long life, extreme longevity, but when they died, like they would be sort of, kind of like not really planted like a tree, but stood up like a tree in this garden, in this area that's full of bodies, and their natural force was never abated. They still look like they were alive, but they were just, standing up, kind of, planted in their section, like a tree, And, one day, I guess they'll come back to life, all the way. Wakey. So we keep hearing about this natural force never going away as a reward. The Most High saves your corpse, That's a very loving gesture. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and the mourning for Moses were ended. And Joshua, yeah, we're going to talk Joshua though. Because we're talking Moses, we're talking Amram, his pops, his sinless pops. We're definitely talking Joshua. We're talking a prophecy of Joshua. Psalms of Joshua. We always say, man, when you talk Joshua, we know we're relating that to Quetzalcoatl, priest king over here already of the Toltecs and the Aztecs, you know what I mean? The indigenous, autochthonous. And we always say, where's his words? Because, all these great prophets and priest kings got lots of writings and stuff. And, we stumbling on, at least a version or depiction of Joshua's words, other than, what I'm saying, some of the words obviously written in the book of Joshua, you know what I mean? But This is kind of an interesting take on, why these are lesser known words, why we got to skip over to the New Testament and claim that that's Jesus and that Jesus is Joshua. Well, guess what, man? If Jesus is Joshua, then we're gonna have to really, read the prophecy of Joshua from a Jesus perspective and see if if it's wavy, baby. We're gonna see if it's wavy, and if it is, cool. If it's not wavy, then we got some decisions to make, and we better make them fast. All right. So again, Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom. So he got that ruach, for Moses had laid his hands upon him. So now, if Moses laid his hands and he got the ruach, then now he has a prophecy, right? Now he has these psalms. Now he got something to say. He got wisdom. If he's full of the spirit of wisdom, then I'm sure he got something to say. So we're going to dig on some of these writings in the Dead Sea Scrolls. For Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him. So this became their, priest, king. And, before you say, well, Moses wasn't no king, what do you mean? Hey, go back in the book of Jasher. Moses was king of Cush for 40 years. Moses was king of Cush for 40 years and then got an honorable discharge. All right, so, he's very kingly, according to the book of Jasher. So when we talk priest king, yeah, we're talking Moshe. When we talk priest king, yeah, we're talking Ahchwa, Joshua, right? So Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him. So now he can prophesy. And the children of Israel hearkened unto him and did as Ahchwa commanded Moshe. Let's go. Oh, and since we're getting New Testament, talking phantoms and duplications, you can also go in the book of Jude, man. The book of Jude. Hey, this is Jude chapter 1, verse 9. You could pick it up right around here, verse 6. And I reminded you of the angels who did not stay within the limits of the authority God gave them, but left the place where they belong. God has kept them securely chained in the prisons of darkness, waiting for the great day of judgment. And don't forget Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns, which were filled with immorality and every kind of sexual perversion. Those cities were destroyed by fire and serving as a warning of the eternal fire of God's judgment. In the same way, these people who claim authority from their dreams live immoral lives, defy authority, and scoff at the supernatural beings. But even Michael, one of the mightiest of the angels, did not dare accuse the devil of blasphemy. Who's the devil? We're in the New Test. Dodge all hijack. Let's go. But simply said, the Lord rebuke you. This took place when Michael was arguing with the devil about Moses's body. So what's so important about Moses's body? I mean, that's just an interesting, thing to bring out in the New Testament. That the devil and the archangel Michael were disputing over Moses's body. What was that argument about, right? I mean, I'm just trying to, get the dropout because, again, I don't ever discourage you never to read, even the Old Testament, the New Testament, whatever other apocryphal, you know what I'm saying? I say read it all. I say read it all with the dragonfly perspective, you know what I'm saying? And get the dropout because they always got to put some drop with the lie. They got to put some truth, you know what I mean? So, you get down and you dodge your own damn hijacks. And you get to drop out and you do your recon. That's all we're talking about is doing the recon. So what's this dispute with Michael and the devil about Moses' body, man? That shit crazy, man. All right, let's go. So we're just talking Amram. We're about to get into the visions of Amram. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, I'm just over here digging on this David and Moses connection. Again, they both come from sinless men. They're both slaying giants. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about priest kings. You know, is one a reflection of the other? Is it just, you know, the similar flow of greatness? You know what I'm saying? But the Mimons, man. Remember the Mimons, man. Hold up, man. Remember, we had that whole 3 Moses drop, right? So we picked up this Moses Maimonides or Maimonides. There we go. It's Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, right? So I'm over here surfing the wave on this Maimon over here. Maimon, son of Amram. Well, we know that Moses is the son of Amram. And now we have this Moses Maimonides, who died in Israel. All right, man. You got the links. The investigation continues. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon Maimonides, right? Again, they say he was born around the 12th century, mid-12th century, 1130s. Okay. Remember, he wrote, they said he wrote the code, he wrote the law, he wrote the Sefer HaMetzvah, which is the book of precepts. And in this book, it has 248 positive commandments, 365 negative commandments. You add that up and you have 613 laws. And I said, well, that's a different way of looking at the 613 laws, not just adding them up, you know what I'm saying? Okay, count this, count that, count that. But he broke the 10 commandments, right, into 613. So then are we looking at it in reverse? Was it 613, commandments instead of 10? And we got like a simplified version of that 10 or that 9 spiral? Like, what makes more sense to you, that Moshe came with this tablet of only 10 things written down? Or was it tablets on tablets, you know what I'm saying, of 613 that have been simplified into 10 or 9, according to the Los Lunas, New Mexico, Stone, Paleo Hebrew, New Mexico, my people. 9 commandments. Because the first and the second cover the same transgression. Don't have no God before your God, no power before your power. Don't make no graven images, no idols. All that is don't have no power before your power. So in Los Lunas, New Mexico, in the Paleo Hebrew, they have that as all one commandment. And there's, 8 other ones. So there's just different perspectives on how you view it. You don't lose a commandment with those 9. It's just putting that transgression all together. Because then you got don't kill, don't steal, don't bear false witness, keep the Sabbath, all that. So those are all separate things, But that first, don't put no power before your power, and that don't make no graven images, no idols, and don't bow, don't worship these idols. All that is, all one major transgression. Just, you know what I'm saying, kind of bullet pointed out because it's such a big deal. Because you ain't in captivity because you didn't keep the Sabbath. You ain't in captivity because you were bearing false witness against your brother. And you ain't in captivity, You know what I'm saying? Simply because you were such a thief and you stole all this stuff. You in captivity, my nigga. We in captivity because we keep putting up power, keep putting energy, keep hijacking ourselves, putting the power before our Hawa, our breath of security. That's why we're in captivity. That's what make the Most High say, time out. You calling another daddy daddy, another mama mama. That gets you thrown all the way to the back of the bus. You become the tail, not the head no more. So yeah, man, the Sefer HaMitzvot. So, and what really cooked our noodle, what really baked our noodle, was when we researched the Sefer HaMitzvot. Even though they're saying this Rabbi Moshe Maimonides is right here around the 1100s, 12th century. That means that this Sefer HaMitzvot must have been written, right, in the 12th century. But I mean, let's keep checking it out. Well, I'll do this and I'll backtrack. We also have researched David, Anan ben David, to be exact, who's supposed to be this exarch, this leader of the Jews, of the Hebrews. And it said in 770, Anan wrote the definitive code of his order, the same book, the Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. Wait a minute, so this is 770. I said, damn, we got them. They can't, it's like chess, you know what I mean? It's only so far they can run. When all the phantoms and the duplicates start being, you know what I'm saying, straight up exposed. So now, when you recon the Sefer HaMitzvot, they specifically said it was written in 1168, which is what, 1170, and this is 770. And this is a 400-year time shift. You know, shout out to Anatoly Fedomenko. You know what I mean? That Scaliger and Petavius did. And they dropped, they dropped stuff off 300 years, right? 1100 years, 1800 years, and everything in between. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just the fact that it's happening. So we call them slipping in a 400-year time shift. Because in 770, Anan ben David wrote the definitive code of his order. Remember the hordes, golden hordes. Author is order. The Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. Mitzvot here. But then you telling me the same mitzvot, the Sefer HaMitzvot, the same damn thing. All right, let's take it from here. Pull up these links. This is another PDF dealing on the Maimonides, life. And he got his own commentary in it, which I just dodge all that. But let's check some stuff out. Okay. He allowed Jews to convert, to say their lives strongly, refuting the prevalent view of his time. Right, I'm just belly flopping. It says, thus says Moses, the son of Maimon. Moses, the son of Maimon. Remember, we were just digging on Maimon, the son of Amram. So Amram is the father of Moses. Remember, Amram is a sinless man. His son is Moses. Is it the same Moses Maimon? Are we just talking about Moses Maimon here, man? Where was I at, man? Hold on. Hey, man. Thus says Moses, the son of Maimon, the son of Maimon. So, then you got to say, all right, it's then you got Maimon, son of Amram, and Moses, the son of Maimon. All right, man. You see how all this, what I'm saying, can start puzzling together, but still, leave you in a puzzle at the same time. A contemporary of ours addressed the question concerning the tragic problem of the apostasy to a pseudo-scholar who lived comfortably and in freedom in the community that was spared the affliction of apostasy. It involved some Jews who, under compulsion, had to confess the authenticity of Muhammad as God's messenger and as a true prophet. So this is more on more war. They're saying accept Muhammad or die, convert or die, right? They were given one of two choices, either to accept the Muslim confession and spare their children from falling into the hands of the oppressors, or refuse to pronounce the Islamic formula and suffer martyrdom, a fate presumably prescribed by the laws of Moses. The consultant responded in the most derisive and distasteful manner, stylistically and contextually. The arguments projected by him were without foundation even for the unenlightened, clearly because we are grounded in the matter and find it hard to tolerate the ignorance of this man and his arrogance. We are responding, he proceeded in a doctrinaire fashion, to dispatch his reponsum through a messenger to every city and country, plunging the hearts of our co-religionist into darkness. All right, man. We just belly flop. All right, so it talks about this Moses, son of Maimon. Now, yeah, that's the thing. Hold up, man. That's why I was like trying to puzzle this thing together. Let me go back. How far did I go? How far did I go? Yeah, man. Okay, so that was the puzzling thing. Cause we just talking about Moses Maimonides. Let me go back to this rabbi. Now he's Rabbi Moshe Ben Maimon. All right, cool. So then that, all right, now we can see it. All right, so Rabbi Moshe Ben Maimon. Maimonides is son of Maimon. Maimonides is son. All right, y'all following this? I know, but we puzzling this thing together. This is an investigation in real time. I'm on it with you, literally. I'm on it with you. So Moses, son of Maimon. Okay, all right. The son of Maimon, the son of Maimon. Maimon, son of Amram. You know what I mean? So sometimes they, just like they say son of David, it doesn't mean that they was his direct son. It could be his grandchild, it could be his great-grandchild. But you see this Maimon still connected with Amram, dying in Israel, man. You know what I mean? All right, let's go. We'll get back to that. Yeah, man. So it was get down to lay down, man. Either accept the Islam formula, was it Islamic formula, or suffer martyrdom. It says Maimonides had a brother named David. That's interesting. Who died at c. 1169, they say. Okay. And he talked about how he fell ill, watching his little bro die. All right, cool, man. I'm just checking this out. So, okay. Then he goes into his work. That's what I was looking for. So, you got the Mishnah Torah, the Sefer Yah Hat Hak Zaka, or repetition of the law. So this is another Moses writing the law or reinforcing the law, however you want to look at it. Moses, the son of Maimon, the Sephardi, bestirred myself, and relying on the help of Hawah, blessed be he, intently studied all these works with the view of putting together the results obtained from them, all in plain language and terse style, so that thus the entire oral law might become systematically known to all without citing difficulties and solutions of differences of view. All right. And then he also wrote the Sefer Hamadah, knowledge, principles. All right. Sefer Ahava, love, prayer. Sefer Zamanim, Sefer Nashim, Sefer Kadusha, Sefer Hafla'ah, Sefer Zerai, Sefer Avodah, Sefer Gorbano, Sefer Tahara, Sefer Netzzekin, Sefer Kin Yan, Sefer Mishpatim, Sefer Shoftim, all right, Book of Judges. Come on, man. But then we get to the one in question, right? Sefer HaMitzvah, the Book of Commandments, listing all 613. Again, when you keep hearing about this 613, we've only been taught one way of, no, okay, yeah, there's literally, past not killing and stealing. There's all throughout Torah, 613, laws, which, all right, cool. I'm not refuting that. But is there another way to look at this 613? Are we, really just talking about a specific, focused, type of laser pinpoint area of these so-called 10 commandments, broken up into positive and negative commandments. And, you start digging on these and all they're doing is reinforcing, commandment number 4, all they're doing is reinforcing the 10 commandments. The fourth mitzvah is that we are commanded to establish in our minds fear and dread of Hawah, exalted be he, that we not be calm and nonchalant, but be constantly concerned of impending punishment for misdeeds. The biblical source of this commandment is Hawah's statement, you shall fear Hawah, your power. And of course, we know we're just lost in translation with this fear. Did he write the word F-E-A-R? Or are they imposing that? You know what I mean? But are we just talking about being obedient? Are we talking about being respectful? Having reverence? You know what I mean? At the end of the tractate, Sanhedrin, there is a discussion of Hawah's statement, exalted be he, anyone who is no kev, curses Hawah's name shall be put to death. Perhaps the word Nakef means others, as in the verse, who were mentioned by name, the prohibition being the verse, you shall fear or respect Hawah, your power. So again, this is just reiterating, even in this transliteration, reiterating the 10 Commandments. You know what I'm saying? Respect your daddy, respect your mama. Sefer HaMitzvot, the Book of Commandments, because you're just talking about the commandments. Is the 16 all about the commandments? You know what I'm saying? Not just putting together all these other laws and adding them up into 613, but are the commandments broken down into 613 positive and so-called negative? And again, the negative are not, negative. They're just telling you specifically what not to do. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? This is telling you, okay, what to do. Respect your creator. Obey your creator. You know what I mean? Go to negative commandment number 4. And they talk about the prohibition. So what not to do. The fourth prohibition is that we are forbidden from making an image of a human being. Jesus. from metal, stone, wood, or anything similar. Metal, stone, wood, or anything similar. So all these statues, you know what I mean? Even though it's not made in order to be worshipped, even though it's not made in order to be. So I ain't worshiping it. The reasons for this is to keep us from making any images whatsoever, so that we should not entertain the false belief held by the masses, idol worshippers, that these images have supernatural powers. Because then you start saying, well, that's my good luck charm. He does not make a representation of anything that is with me. Do not make for yourself silver or gold gods. So it starts going specifically into the idols. Again, this is supposed to be written by who? The Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Commandments, right? We're just talking about Maimonides, Moses Maimonides, son of Maimon, right? It's supposed to be the same year, the same time. I mean, even when you put it in Wiki, Sefer HaMitzvot is the work by the 12th century rabbi, philosopher, physician Maimonides. Moses, right? You see how they try to hide that part? You got to scroll over it, and then you see, oh, Moses. And they gave you some hijack, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So the Sefer HaMitzvot is supposed to be the work of the 12th century Moses. 12th century Moses. But you do a little recon and you catch them slipping in between the timelines, because in 770, Anan wrote the definitive code of his order, man. This is the law. This is Torah. Definitive code. You see how they're hiding this? The Sefer HaMitzvot. It's the same damn thing. Book of Precepts, Book of Commandments, same thing. So did it happen in 770? How then can you lie straight to my face, Wiki, and tell me it's going on in the 12th century? I think they're caught up in the timelines, boss. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag for the illusion. So what's the real his story, man? I mean, what's the real flow? Is it really going down in the 700s? Is it 700s really the 1200s? Is this Moshe really popping off in the 1100s? This Presta? We're just surfing away, man. Yeah, man. I think it's time to go ahead and enjoy some of this. We're going to be digging on these Dead Sea Scrolls, and I hear mixed reviews about them. Some say they hijack, all right. Some say they, it has a connection with the Kariots. We had kind of dug on that, you know what I mean, and kind of ran right into that that these Kariots have a connection with some of these writings. We know when we talk Kariots, we're talking the Kara, Katai. Kara means black or, melanated. Katai is Cathay, which means pure or pure land. So you're talking about a melanated land, a melanated pure land. I'm talking Shambhala, Cibola, Promised Land. Kara, Katai, melanated pure land. I can dig it. You pull up the link. If you want to get fragmented, pull up these fragments. Amram, huh? So yeah, we're going to talk visions of Amram. We might go into these prophecies of Joshua first, man. Maybe I see how we feel. They say alternate spelling of the name include Hebrew, Amram, friend of the Most High, the people are exalted. So if you're ever wondering what the name means, Amram, It means the people are exalted. Friend of Hawa. Amram in Arabic is spelled Imran. 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 Imran was the father of Moses and Aaron, husband of Jochebed, who was the mother of Moses, as mentioned by his given name, Musa. Musa. So we got to get back into that, you know what I'm saying, Mansa Musa, you know what I mean, because how many rich Nagas full of gold, is running around here, man. I mean, we're talking David, we're talking Solomon, we're talking Moses, we're talking Musa, which means Moses is a son of Amram. Musa is Moses. All right. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. It's a little drop in there, a little drop. You can dig on it, click some of them links. My bad, it's cold over here, man. It's cold over here. It's cold in the car when you're hiding in the car. You know what I mean? Just not doing it for y'all, man. I'm doing it for y'all, man. Visions of Amram. Also referred to as 4Q543-549, a collection of 5 extremely fragmented copies found in Qumran Cave. Qumran. You know that Qum is the Qum. Qum. It should really be pronounced like come here, like rise, So if you tell somebody to rise up or come, it's like Qum, come, kum, rise, let's go. Published a significant fragment of the visions of Amram. Since then, controversy has surrounded this document at every turn. Well, Drop Nation, I think it's time for us to surf the wave, because controversy has surrounded this document at every single turn. So I think, us putting some theories together might make sense, right? I mean, I've never seen, this really being dug on before, so let's go. This is what we're doing it for. Visions of Amram, controversy surrounding this document at every turn. In this testament, Amram gathers his sons, Moses and Aaron, to his deathbed and relates stories of his life, providing wisdom and commanding understanding. This document is named for a vision shared during this time. I mean, that's a perspective that we might not be familiar with, right? Or we're not familiar with. Amram gathering Moses and Aaron, telling him some, bedtime stories, man. This document has many distinguishing features that separate it from the other Dead Sea Scrolls found in the Qumran caves. Primarily copies of the visions of Amram are written in Aramaic, unlike the majority of the Qumran texts, which are scripted in Hebrew. This unique feature, along with its suspected dating to the 2nd century BCE, leads most scholars to believe these documents were written prior to and apart from the Qumran sectarian documents. Due to the multiple copies, organization, and comprehension of this fragmented document is twofold. First, fragments are categorized in 5 groups. All right, man. Y'all can dig on it, man. Y'all can dig on it. Okay. I'm just digging on this, section right here, trying to get some understanding. It says, upon the year of his death, At 136 years old, Amram, son of Kohath, son of Levi, okay, gave in marriage his 30-year-old daughter, Miriam, to his brother Uzziel. The wedding was 7 days long. After the feast, Amram called for his children and began to recollect the story of his time in Egypt. Amram tells his son, remember, he has extreme longevity, so he's going through generations, man. That's why I'm trying to understand it, because you know what I mean. He has extreme longevity. He's passing the law throughout generations. So when he calls his sons on his deathbed, I guess 136 years, can be looked at as extreme longevity. But let's go. All right. Amram tells his son Aaron to summon his son Malachijah. And Amram tells him that he will give them wisdom. So Amram tells his son Aaron to summon his son Malachijah. So is that Moses? Yeah, all right, let's go. And Amram tells him that he will give them wisdom. Amram and Kohath go to Canaan from Egypt to build tombs for those who perished during the Egyptian sojourn. Amram stayed in Canaan to finish the tombs while Kohath left for Egypt due to the threat of war. Amram was unable to go back to his wife and family in Egypt for 41 years until the war between Egypt, Canaan, and Philistia was over. Next, Amram presents his vision. He accounts two divine figures fighting over fate of his judgment. Amram inquires about their claimed authority and challenges their rule in his life. In apparent unison, the figures declare their rule over humanity and offer him a choice of destiny. Hey, this is like some cold stuff, man. It's like a movie, man. How come we never heard of the visions of Amram, man? Because ain't nobody checking for Moshe. Ain't nobody checking for Moshe. Let's go, man. Let's go. Amram inquires about their claimed authority and challenges their rule in his life. Back up. So Amram, even though he's looking at these two divine figures, he still challenges their authority. That's when you got the drop, man. Talking about the sinless man, right? So he accounts two divine figures fighting over fate of his judgment. It kind of reminds me of Jude 1 and 9. This took place when Micah was arguing with the devil about Moses' body. Oh, and remember, where did we get it? That Amram, his body was left. Here we go. Despite the legend of his divorce and remarriage, Amram was also held to have been entirely sinless throughout his life and was rewarded for this by his corpse remaining without any signs of decay, left unabated, never removed, never lessened. Now I wonder if Benjamin's body, was left unabated because he was sinless. I wonder if Jesse's body was left unabated. Yeshai. I wonder if Daniel's body was left unabated. Yeah, man. the son of David. So David has a sinless pops and a sinless son. You know, we read about David's transgressions, and we also read about David's restoration. You know what I'm saying? Hawa, hawa. Either way, we're talking forever. We're talking forever. So Amram's body was left without any decay. Let's go. We got Jude 1 and 9. This took place when Micah was arguing with the devil about Moses' body. We know Moses' body was also left. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. So Amram was 136. He was 120. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated, removed, or reduced. His natural force was never removed. Moses' natural force was never removed. Moses' natural force was never removed. He always had his spiral, his dragon, his fire, his water, his ether, his earth. And now we're getting, that Joshua was full of the spirit of wisdom. Or did he start to prophesy? Is the next question. Did Joshua start to prophesy? So you can get more about this manuscript. I want to know, did Joshua start to prophesy? And you pull it up and scroll near the bottom. I'm almost at the bottom. And we're going to scroll up to the visions, just get a couple of stanzas, man, out of this prophecy of Joshua. I think they also got the Psalm of Joshua. It's small, so just, pull it up. It's also fragmented, so we'll do our best to get some type of, clarity. Joshua Apocrypha. Oh, yeah. We got the Psalms of Joshua. Okay. All right, man. First thing first. Prophecy of Joshua. Let's go. Oh, wow. Alkaline. I did tell you that's a beautiful thing, right? Let's go. From the Dead Sea Scrolls, all right, prophecy of Joshua. It says 2 mutilated columns, as well as several further small fragments of a narrative appear to describe the future conquest, and or division of the Holy Land. It appears to be related to the extremely fragmentary 5Q9 published by J.T. Malik, all right, which mentions the name of Joshua. Column 1 of 4Q522 consists of a list of localities, of which a number appear in Joshua. What's that, 15 through 21? Beersheba. All right, you got different names coming up. So let's go. Let's belly flop into the prophecy of Joshua. Now, I just want you to keep one thing in mind, because, this is the This is an important step to unify, to dodge and hijack, man, to be side by side, man, to continue to tribe up and not let no hijacks come in between the spiral, because we know hijacks allowed no matter what. So I know we got fam out there, claiming that Joshua is Jesus. All we said was there's phantoms, reflections, and duplications, and it appears that they're using some of this Joshua flow to create their story and thread in their own timeline, in their own events, a New Testament, to get you worshiping a fake Hamashiach disguised as Isus, Zeus. But all that stuff considered, it's very important, man, when we talk tribing up, to just use common sense. That you've been invaded. Clearly, their God has been brought to you. Their gods have been brought to you. So you can't call on the same God as the invader. But if Joshua is Isus, because the J don't exist, so let's stop playing. The J don't exist, so let's stop playing. When we say Hamashiach, Yeshua Hamashiach, all this in the name of the Hamashiach, and all this glory is now going towards this Jesus or this Joshua, Yeshua. Let's read it from a perspective of the prophecy of Joshua and just keep in your frontal lobe. I want you to keep just keep Jesus in your frontal lobe for a second, because I want you to think about, if Joshua is Jesus, what is he really saying? Because this reality is going to split the illusion right out of your cipher when you talk Hamashiach, which only means a high messenger. The Psalm of Joshua, the prophecy of Joshua. For behold, so this is a prophecy of Joshua or Jesus, right? For behold, a sign or a son is born to Jesse. We're talking Jesse, father of David. Also a sinless man. The other three ancient Israelites who died without sin being Benjamin, Jesse, and Gilead. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. We're just getting started. No, I mean, this is real spill, real talk. Because worshiping hijacks ain't allowed, man, not in this resonance. Giving honor and glory to hijacks ain't allowed, man, not in this resonance, man, not in this sound, not in this frequency. Giving glory to your creator directly is no hijack allowed 101. Nothing goes in the name of nobody. We give all glory to Hawa, our breath of security, our foundational revelation, our framer, our shaper, our Ama, our Abba. Only through no other son of nothing. Because Israel is the son. And what's Joshua saying? And think about it, because we got family saying that Jesus is Joshua, not a reflection of Joshua, that these are his words. We got family saying that everything in the red print in the New Testament must be the Hamashiach, who must be Joshua, who must be Quetzalcoatl. Are these the words of Quetzalcoatl? Well, the Mormons think Quetzalcoatl's Jesus, and some of our families leading us, leading some down this path. If Quetzalcoatl is Jesus, then what's Jesus saying? Let's go, man. Hey, I'm just talking about the prophecy, the prophecy, the prophecy of Joshua. Let's go, man. Let's go. Prophecy of Joshua. For behold, a son is born to Jesse, a sinless man, son of Perez, son of Judah. He is to take the rock of Zion, and from there he is to possess the Amorites. So let's backtrack and just simplify it. Let's just say in the script, you have Moses. Remember, he touches Joshua, right? Deuteronomy 34. And Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, and Moshe laid his hands upon him. And the children of Israel hearkened unto him. He became priest, king, Khan. He got the Khan, right? And did as Hosea commanded Moses, right? All right. For behold, a son is born to Jesse, son of Perez, son of Judah. He is to take the rock of Zion, and from there he is to possess the Amorites, to build a house for Hosea, the power of Israel. Gold and silver, we got these fragments, cedars and cypress trees will he bring from Lebanon to build it. And the sons of fragment break and something and David, which reminds me a lot of that Hosea 3 and 5, that the children of Israel will return, seek Hosea and David. You just wonder what all this stuff is in the middle, right? And the sons of something, boom, and David, the Lord, right? Hosea will make him dwell in security, breath of security. Hosea of heaven will reside with him forever. Huh? Forever. All right, let's pause right quick. Because after that, you got a lot of fragments, you know what I mean? And this is just a piece of the fragment number 9, right? Because you remember what they say these things were looking like. So these are, certain fragments of these scrolls. And I don't know if this is exactly what they mean. Fragment number 9. But we are digging on fragment number 9. All you see is a piece. How do they get all that from this? You know what I mean? But this is maybe just one plate of fragment number 9. I don't know. I got to dig on it. Fragment number 9, right? So, in this prophecy of Joshua, after Moses lays his hands on him, he says, behold, a son is born to Jesse. So you have Moses, Joshua, right? According to the, biblical timeline. Later on down the line, you got 1st and 2nd Samuel and Kings and all that. Moses and Joshua was taking place in the first 5 books in the Torah, right? And then you got the book of Joshua following that and all that. So just according to the, mundane biblical timeline, you got Joshua and Moses rocking in the Torah. And then later on, you got this 1st King, 2nd King, Samuel, all that with David and Saul, right? All that. So he's prophesying something futuristic, like they said. This is a futuristic. It says 2 mutilated columns, as well as several further small fragments of a narrative appear to describe the future conquest and or division of the Holy Land. And who does it apply to in the future? The son of Jesse or David. Stop, because we got our family, our Shabbatah. And it's all Ahab because we're all, puzzling all this together. We've been blown apart, so it's all Ahab. But man, the shit got to stop. It got to stop because it's misinformation. It's hijack city to say that Joshua is Jesus when you got the prophecy of Joshua prophesying about David. Is Jesus prophesying about David? I'll wait. Is Jesus prophesying about David? I told you it's going to rip the illusion right off the buns of reality. So whatever they got to say about the authenticity of any of these scrolls and fragments of anything, it at least gives you a perspective to investigate. I'm not taking all this, face value and all this, but I know for sure it's lining up with the investigation that we are already on. We know that Joshua ain't Jesus specifically. We know that they created a reflection of Joshua. They got the same name. But that Jesus over there ain't talking about slicing and dicing these Canaanites, slicing and dicing the giants, getting you on your promised land. That Jesus over there didn't do that. He didn't go to name one war Jesus fought for Israelites. What war did Jesus fight in? Every priest king, whether you talking Moshe, whether you talking Joshua, whether you talking David, they all fight for you and they all win, rocking with Hawa. We know that every revolution has bloodshed and has always had bloodshed, so don't sell us on some idea of some revolution without it. Even Hawaii said, I'm going to come back and start slicing and dicing. Oh no, that Jesus going to come back and start slicing and dicing. You have to give me an example of him slicing and dicing before. Oh no, that Jesus is Joshua. Is he? Because this Joshua is prophesying. Why is he prophesying? How is he prophesying? Because Moses laid his hands upon him. Joshua, the son of Nun, is full of the spirit of wisdom. Is it outlandish that this son of Nun, is prophetic, just like the visions of Amram. Is Amram having visions? Is Moshe having visions? Is Joshua having visions? Come on, man. Of course he is, right? Moses laid his hands on him. Do you have any other example of these visions Joshua had concerning the future? Not in the first 5 books of the Tanakh. I'm talking about later on when you talk King David, right? So we're going to collapse the wave pattern on this one particular David. Why is he so important that Joshua, after being touched by Moshe, is prophesying about David? See, Jesus is the son of David. Joshua is the elder, you see? Jesus ain't Joshua. One's the son of David, one's the elder. Which one is it? And if he's the elder, this elder is having a prophecy about a David that will be born of Jesse. Yeah, man, they're arguing over Moshe's body, even in the New Test, when you get New Testy. But let's get out of here, Jack. Let's skirt about this place, man. Let's go back into Joshua, because Hosea literally translates to Joshua, not Jesus. Jesus doesn't translate to dog or shit. Or swine, Jesus, swine. That got nothing to do with the Hebrew. There ain't no J. So you're saying Jesus translates? Jesus translates to what? Yeshua? Joshua? Yeshua? Who's having a prophecy? Who's prophesying? You saying Jesus, Jesus translates to Yeshua? Jesus? Says who? That's who you need to pin down. Who's saying that shit? Who's saying Jesus translates to Yeshua? Come on, man. Come on, man. It's too late in the game for this. It's the 4th quarter. The ball's right out in front. The ball's right out in front. You don't got to take a hijack detour to get to the ball because the ball's right out in front. We go direct to Hawaii. You want to talk Joshua? You want to talk Hosea? And David? But afterwards, the people will return and devote themselves to Hawaii. To Hawaii. This is that New Living Translation, man. This is, let's keep it gangster for a second. Keep it gangster. Go back to the, if you want to call it gangster, the authorized King James before they start playing tricks on the David's descendants. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Hawaii, their power, and David. And David. Where else did we see the and David? And David. This is again another prophecy. By who? Hosea, a prophet. Wait a minute. What does this Hosea prophet? I'm just putting this together with you. Have to do with the prophecy of Joshua. Make sure we're doing good. Make sure we're doing good. What I do? Get me out of there. Try that. Okay. We good. What does the prophecy of Joshua have to do with the prophet Hosea? Come on, man. Let's get it, man. We about to get this visions, a couple stanzas in this visions of Amram, for the dismount, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with it, bro. Shabbat Shalom. I'm just connecting, separating it up with you. Separating it up. We're talking Hosea. We're talking Joshua, right? Uh-oh. Are we talking Jesus? You see how these Christians act? Let's go. But at least you get the point, right? So if it's popping up like this, that's the Christians linking all this shit, right? And then our bros is linking Joshua and Jesus, except they're not going off of no reflections, off of no duplication. They say, no, that's the real thing. Jesus is actually Joshua walking around, you know what I'm saying, to the Church of Galilee. No, that's Joshua. Damn. Well, if Joshua is Jesus, then what's up with this prophecy, though? Because he appears to be prophesying about a future king. And there ain't no static between Joshua and David. So we can't make no static between Joshua and David. Joshua is having a pure water prophecy about the son of Jesse, a sinless man. Continuing the flow. Only, with this version, with this interference pattern, do we get this beef between, Joshua and David when there ain't none. Because Jesus is being inserted for Joshua. And there's definitely a beef between Jesus and David because Jesus ain't no son of David. Someone is bearing false witness. And that's where we stand. And Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Let's go. Numbers 13, verse 16. And Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Hosea is Joshua, man. So when you have Hosea prophesying that afterwards shall the children of Israel seek Hawah, their power, and David, their king, Khan, and shall fear or respect Hawah and his goodness in the latter days. The latter days. Forever, right? Forever. So you have this prophet Hosea. Man, this is dope, man. I mean, hey, man, we have this prophecy of Joshua. We have this Moses calling Hosea Joshua. So if Moses puts his hands, right? Deuteronomy, we still got that. Moses put his hands, laid his hands upon him, Joshua, or Hosea. I mean, they flipped all these books all over the place. You got to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And you can't be afraid to do it. You can't fear surfing the wave, man. Moses put his hands on Joshua. Moses put his hands on Hosea. Moses put his hands on Hosea, the prophet who's having a prophecy. And Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Got it. Let's go. Hosea. So you can easily just say the prophecy of Hosea. Does that break the spell? Hosea. For behold, a son is born to Jesse, son of Perez, son of Judah. He is to take the rock of Zion. Jesse's son, David, is to take the rock of Zion. And from there he is to possess the Amorites, check, to build a house for Ahchwa, the power of Israel. All right, so we got a fragment here. We know that Solomon later built that house. All right, gold and silver. Okay, cedars, cypress trees. Sounds like the house, right? That Solomon built. Let's go. Will he bring from Lebanon? Right. So that sounds like the Solomon drop. And the sons of something, and David, right? And David, right? Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Ahchwa, their power, and David. So the investigation continues because it's prophesied by Joshua. It's prophesied by Joshua. Joshua is having a prophecy. Is Joshua Jesus? Is Hosea Jesus? Because that's what some of our brothers is teaching us. And we got to unify and leave the bullshit to the side. We can't call Joshua Jesus if this prophecy is not confirming that there ain't no phantom and duplicate. Because there's clearly a phantom and a duplicate going on. But whose prophecy is it anyway? Is this the prophecy of Jesus or the prophecy of Joshua? The prophecy of Jesus or the prophecy of Joshua? Is Jesus saying, you know what, there's going to be a son of Jesse one day who will be the rock of Zion, and he'll be there to possess the Amorites? Is that what Jesus is saying? So which words is it anyway? Are we going to say that those are Joshua's words in the New Testament, but these aren't Joshua's words? That's Joshua's perspective, but this ain't Joshua's perspective? To have a prophecy after Moses lays his hands on him? I'm just talking Hosea. So if it don't jive, if the prophecy don't jive, if this ain't a prophecy of Jesus, then we gotta leave Joshua alone and let him be original and understand that they're reflecting off of the greatness of this priest king, this Wong Kong, this Preston. And that's why we dig on the Presta Hour and the Presta Investigation, because it highlights all the priest kings. For our investigation, we need a dragonfly perspective. So all this Solomon drop, house of Ahchwa, the power of Israel drop. Then it says the Lord will make him dwell in security, right? Breath of security. Ahchwa of heaven will reside with him forever. And I say, well, you know, where else is David considered to be ruling forever? I mean, forever, ever? Forever. I mean, forever, ever? Jeremiah 30, but they shall serve for a while their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. Forever, ever? David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Hosea 3 and 5. Afterwards the children of Israel shall return and seek Hawah their power, and David their king, and they shall respect Hawah and his goodness in the latter days. Dodge the fear spell. Let's go. Forever, because we're just reading the fragment. Forever. Hawah of heaven will reside with him forever. Who? David. Who? The son of Jesse. How long? Forever. Forever, ever, man. Will David rule forever? Back to Ezekiel 37. David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd, man. They shall all have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. So having the shepherd of David is tantamount with the children observing, so that the wave pattern is collapsed at the proper place, right? In paradise, when you observe the commandments, the judgments, the statutes, and do them, then they shall dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob, my servant. You are children of Jacob who have an inheritance, who have land that comes through observing. And what you observe is that you have one shepherd, David. Forever, though, forever. Where your fathers dwelt, they shall dwell there, they, their children, and their children's children forever. We're talking about the latter days, just like Hosea. Just like Hosea. So you're going to wake up, man. Seek Hawah. The children will return. You're going to get back in your mind, man. Get back in your inheritance flow. Seek the Creator and David forever. You will always be obedient and obey your flow, your energy, your frequency, your power, and his goodness in the latter days, man. Very important. So you know that we're talking about a prophecy. Hosea is, prophesying about these latter days. Forever though, man. I mean, that's what the fragment said, right? Forever, right? So you're going to dwell in your land that I have given to Jacob, my servant, with your children, children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Forever? Forever, ever? Forever. Forever. Is the Most High a liar? Can you prove the Most High a liar? Is Ezekiel lying, bearing false witness on the Creator? What about Jeremiah? But they shall serve Hawah. It's all about serving your Creator directly, not through no Hamashiach, but directly. The only thing your how Mashiachs do is deliver the message to connect directly with Hawa, your framer, your shaper, your Amma, your Abba, your mother, your father. Because with that, connecting to your mama, what do you get? You get wisdom, right? Because after Moses laid his hands on Joshua, what happened? He was full of the ruach of wisdom. I mean, you do read, in the wisdom of Solomon and just all the connection that your mama has directly to you. She says, you need to be rocking with my laws. They're your father's laws and they're your mother's laws. Remember, like any other house, your mama can't give you no good, can't do no good for you if you're not listening to your daddy. If you don't care about your daddy's laws of the house, if the mama is unified with the father, then she can't give you a bunch of ice cream and cookies and, buy you all kind of stuff because you ain't listening to your father's laws. Because the father's laws are the mother's laws, man. And when you're rocking in the Ruach, you're rocking with your Amma, right? You got your wisdom, you got your framer, you got your shape or your vibration, your wah, your security. Let's get this for the dismount, man. It's Visions of Amram. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm just surfing away. I'm still in my car, man. On a nice cold night in LA. Oh, man. So, Jeremiah 9, but they shall serve Hawa their power, and David their king, whom I will raise on up. Well, how would he be raised up? Maybe his body would be left unabated. Maybe his countenance, it would not be abated, would not be removed. Maybe his natural energy would not be reduced. Just like Amram, just like his father, Jesse. I'm just surfing away. Whom I will raise up for them. Therefore do not fear, O my servant Jacob, says Hawa, do not be dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save you from afar, and your seed from the land of their captivity. How will the Most High save you? Will a king be raised up? This is where they're getting this savior figure. Again, this reflection of Jesus is a combination of David, is a combination of Joshua, is a combination of Ezekiel, and on and on and on we go. Now you got a super naga, a super naga, a super naga that you have to call on in every prayer. Hijack City. Every greeting, you got to greet us with a super naga. The Creator breathed directly into you. And as much as you want to think the spirit in the Ruach is the super naga, Isus, I say the spirit, the Ruach, is wisdom. Because in our Torah, it's the spirit of wisdom. So don't tell the children that the Ruach is Christ, who's always been there from Genesis 1. The image is Christ. The Ruach is Christ. Christ is a Greek word, anointed of the Greeks. This spirit is not of the anointed of the Greeks. This spirit is the spirit of your mother. There's nowhere that their Christ can walk without stepping on the toes of the ancient love song, without stepping on the toes of David or Joshua, Hosea, or Ezekiel, or Moshe, or even our mother wisdom. Now Christ got to be the Spirit. The Holy Spirit must be Christ now. Christ must be the Ruach. Then who is your mother? Christ is your mother. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Stop it. This shit got to stop. And I mean that with all sincerity. We in the fourth quarter. The price is going up. We're just talking about the prophecy. Forever. Behold, a son is born to Jesse, son of Perez, son of Judah. He is to take the rock of Zion, and from there he is to possess the Amorites and all the other hijacks. Yeah, man. The Lord will make him dwell in security. We're talking about Dawid. We're talking Dawid. Joshua. Joshua is talking Dawid. Is it Joshua prophesying about Dawid or Jesus prophesying about Dawid? Did that take place after David? Did the story of Jesus and Corinthians and Galatians and Ephesians and Matthew, Mark, Luke and John take place before David? That Jesus will be prophesying about David? Or is this another case that we just got to dodge all hijacks at all costs? So I think we're just talking about the originator. We're talking about the original Joshua, Hawashua, Hosea, Kitzakoot, prophesying about the priest king, the Khan, who actually goes to war to defend the promised land. Like King Arthur with Camelot. Like Dawid, like Presta with Kalalus. Yeah, you will dwell in security. Hawa will reside with him forever. But now the Amorites are there, and the Canaanites, fragment, inhabitant, whom I consider guilty, whom I have not sought, fragment, from you, and the Shelanite and the fragment, I have made him a slave, fragment, and now fragment, to a distant fragment, Eleazar, fragment. All right. Remember, man, we only got a little small piece of this stuff. We only got a little small piece, and does it connect with the Cariads, the Katai, the melanated Pure Land? What does it? We're still catching them slipping, though, in the timelines with the Sefer HaMitzvot. Is it 12th century Moses Maimonides? Is it 8th century Hanan ben David? Sefer HaMitzvot. For the dismount, visions of Amram. Oh, wow. So here it's called the Testament of Amram. Let's get a piece, of maybe a little intro, an Aramaic document surviving in 4 or 5 fragmentary copies. All right, man, let's dig on it, man. Let's go right into it. I'm going to get some tea, man. Get out this cold weather. Let's go. I'm only human. Digging on a nice breeze with y'all, man. I need a fireplace, man. Anybody got a fire burning? We got a fire starter out there, man. Definitely need some logs on that fire. Oh, wow. Okay. So something I copy of the book of the words of the visions of Amram, son of Kahat. Sometimes I also spell with a Q, son of Levi. All that he explained to his sons and enjoined on them on the day of his death in his 137th year, which was the year of his death, in the 152nd year of Israel's exile in Egypt, to call fragment Uzziah, his younger brother, and he married him to Miriam. So, all right, so again, it's saying Amram, his brother, married his daughter. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? His brother married his daughter. So you were 30 years old. So I guess when she was 30 years old. So it wasn't like she was a young girl, you know what I mean? But either way, uncle, today that'd be crazy, right? And he gave a banquet lasting 7 days. And he ate and drank and made merry during the banquet. Then when the days of the banquet were completed, he sent to call Aaron, his son, and he was about 20 years old, and said to him, okay, so Aaron was 20 years old. Call my son, the messengers, your brothers from the house of Kahat, went there to stay and dwell and build. Fragment. All right, many of the sons of my uncle together. Fragment. A man, as our work was very great until the dead would be buried, vacate or vacat. In the year of my beginning, when the news of a war became worrying, with my consent, our company returned to the land of Egypt, and I went to bury them, and they did not build the tombs of our fathers. And my father Kahat and my wife Jochebed left me to stand and build and provide them with all their needs from the land of Canaan. And we stayed in Hebron while we were building Vekat. I don't know if that's just... a war broke out between the Philistines and the Egyptians, and the Philistines and the Canaanites defeated the Egyptians, and they closed the frontiers of Egypt. Now, have you heard of this war, between Egypt and the Canaanites and Philistines? Right? And it was impossible for Jochebed, my wife, to go from Egypt to Canaan for 41 years, and we could not return to Egypt. Therefore, we could not fragment the war between Egypt and Canaan and the Philistines. And during all this, Jochebed, my wife, was away from me in the land of Egypt. Fragment, my post. Fragment, for she was not with me, and I did not take another wife. Women, fragment, all that I would return to Egypt in peace and would see the face of my wife. I saw watchers in my vision, okay? A dream vision. And behold, 2 of them argued about me and said, fragment, and they were engaged in a great quarrel concerning me. Now again, that sounded a lot like that quarrel that's happening in that New Testament, First Jude, right? Phantoms of duplications over Moses' body. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. It's nothing but phantoms and duplications. You know what I mean? Mixed in with some drop. Mixed in with some actual drop. You know what I mean? But mostly it's reflections. Let's go. In my vision, a dream, vision, and behold, two of them argued about me and said, fragment, and they were engaged in a great quarrel concerning me. I asked them, what are you, fragment, thus fragment about me? So what you talking about me, man? What you saying? They answered and said to me, we have been made masters and rule over all the sons of men. And they said to me, which of us do you choose? So they said, oh, we're going to be your masters. Which one of us is going to be your God? So he said, I raised my eyes and saw one of them. His looks were frightening, like a viper, something like that. And his garments were multicolored and was extremely dark. And afterwards I looked, and behold, by his appearance and his face was like that of an adder, and he was covered with fragment together and over his eyes. All right, so you got another fragment. Fragment 2, this watcher, who is he? He said to me, this watcher, and his three names were Belial. All right, you got the Prince of Darkness, and you got Meli, Irisha, something like that. And I said, EV, something, Lord, what may, something, may, mo? And he said to me, all his paths are darkness, and all his works is darkness. And he is fragment in darkness, you see, and he rules over all darkness, and I rule over all light. So one is saying they rule over the light, one is saying they rule over the dark. And it goes on, we'll get this last part for the dismount. Copy of the writing of the words of the vision of Amram, son of Kahat, son of Levi, that he has explained to his sons on the day of his death in the year 136. This is the year of his death, in the year 152, the exile of Israel in Egypt. The year 152, the year of the exile of Israel in Egypt. Also it came to him, and fragment called Hosea, his younger brother. All right, so it's kind of repeating some of the story now. I will explain to you your name that he wrote for Moses, and also about Aaron. I will explain to you the mystery of his worshiping. He is a holy priest to the Most High God. So he said, I'll explain to you the mystery of his worshiping. So I'm trying to put the fragments together, but perhaps Amram is explaining to Aaron the mystery of, why Moses is being venerated or, talked about. They're throwing the word worshiping out. We're reading English now, translation. He is a holy priest to the Most High God. Also, all his seed will be holy in all the generations of eternity, man. Forever. Here we go again. So you got these forever holy generations coming out of Moshe, you know what I mean? Possibly Aaron. I'm trying to put the fragments together. We know that we got this, this David, this line of Davids. Let's go. All of his seed will be holy in all the generations of eternity. The seventh of the men of Hawa's good will be called and will be said fragment and will be chosen as priest. Oh man. Forever. Here we go. So we just read about this David forever. Now you got this priest Moses forever. Huh. Or are we still just talking, all right, sounds a lot like the prophecy of Joshua talking about David, right? Okay, so, it's all one function, man. It's all happening. I announce to you the firm path. I will indeed inform you, fragment. For all the sons of light will shine, and all the sons of darkness will be dark. For all the sons of light, fragment. And by all their knowledge they will, fragment. And the sons of darkness will be fragment. And the sons of darkness will be removed, fragment. For every fool and wicked will be darkened. Every sage and upright will shine. For all the sons of light will go to the light to fragment. And all the sons of darkness go towards death and perdition, fragment. The people shall have brightness, fragment. And they will explain to them, fragment. Then it goes into the words of Moses that we can pick up on another time, man. Get some more drop out of this words of Moses, man. We just digging on these Dead Sea Scrolls, man. Putting a couple things together. Because it's all puzzle pieces at the end of the day. We've been separated. So any part of the puzzle you're investigating, we appreciate you. You're emptying your cup, you're surfing a wave, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. You're having your rest, you're getting your Shabbat, you're signing up. We appreciate you. You're getting your rest, you're getting your Zion, you're getting your fifth and your sixth letter, your Ahchwa, your breath, your security. Remember the fragment. Back to the prophecy. The prophecy of Hosea, right? Or we're just talking Joshua. You tell me. And Moses called Hosea the son of Nun, Joshua, right? The prophecy of Hosea. For behold, a son is born to Jesse, son of Perez, son of Judah. He is to take the rock of Zion, and from there he is to possess the Amorites, to build a house for the Lord, the God of Israel, right? Gold and silver, cedars and cypress trees will he bring from Lebanon to build it, and the sons of Fragment and David, the Lord will make him dwell in security. Yeah, man. Because when you get that wow, you have a security. When you get your ha or your mama, you have your breath, you have your revelation, you have your what? Wisdom. Yeah. Breath and revelation. Look, see clearly. 360 degree dragon flit eye perspective. That's mama with her arms raised. And that's your father that gives you that security, that vibration. You dig? And I pray that you get your rest, your Zion, your food, your nourishment. Cut the day off because it is all, cut off for your rest. Your weapon to get your Zion is to get your weapon, your food, and your nourishment, man. And with this now right here, Moses called Hosea the son of Nun, Joshua. The Bible contains many treasures. Some are not obvious by first reading. Here is such a treasure found by my wife, Bridget. The Israels are sending 12 spies in the land of Canaan. In Numbers 13, verses 4 to 15, these 12 men are listed. Verse 16 then tells, these are the names of the men that Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. If you look at the Blue Letter Bible website, you may note there's not much difference between the different translations. There are small differences in the way the Hebrew words are written with our alphabet. So by the time we translate it to our English hijack, it looks so different, but there's no difference. That's when you say that, oh, that translation is that translation. You got the Hebrew comparison. You can compare Joshua with Hosea. Don't tell us that Jesus translates to Joshua when there's no Hebrew equivalent, no Hebrew translation for it. You can't write it in Hebrew. All you can do is skip over the obvious common sense that Greek, that Jesus, don't have nothing to do with Hosea. It's just a phantom, a duplication, a super naga. But when you talk Hosea and Joshua, see, you're talking prophets and prophecy, and they're prophesying about Dawid, the same Dawid that in the latter days, man, the prophesying about the latter days. In the latter days, Israel will return, man. Seek Hawa and Dawid forever, ever, whom I will raise up for them. Forever, ever, my servant David shall be their Khan forever. It is interesting to look at the words as they appear in the original Hebrew text. Nowadays, it is possible to look at the original text of the Bible without having to know Hebrew or Greek, but using tools like the interlinear Bibles or a website called Blue Letter Bible. Of course, actually knowing these languages is better, but for the layman like me, tools that let you study original text are great. Hosea is written like that. Joshua is written like that. As you see, the name change is a play of words. A play of words. Man, you are in a theater house. You are in a play of words. The name change is a play of words. So when they put it in English, Hosea to Joshua, it's a play of words. Trying to put Jesus in this is definitely a play. It's that play. It's that play. And you're playing with words. And you're bearing false witness on the word. And that's a problem. And this is time to sharpen up, open the market up. Start shopping for truth around here, you dig? Shop for reality around here. You want freedom? We got freedom pies and freedom enchiladas. We got reality tostados. Let's go. Oh, man. Hey, man. I'm going to get out this cold car, man. But check it. So it's just saying it's play, man. It's a play of words. The names are very similar, but the new name has has a few additional characters. The names also have meanings. Hosea means salvation. Joshua means he is salvation. Or God is salvation. So they both mean the same, right? Does Jesus mean salvation? Does Jesus mean salvation? Take the J off. The additional J. Come on. Give me that. The additional J in the name points towards the first letter of God, Yahweh. Oh, man. So here we go. Right. J is a new letter. Ka. Joshua was one of the two spies that has enough faith in Hawa to believe that the excellent land, the Katag, the Cathay, the pure land, the Kalelus they had seen would be given to the people of Israel by Hawa. Later, Joshua would be the successor of Moshe. With Joshua as leader, the people of Israel moved into Canaan. Did they follow Jesus into any new land? Again, I just got to keep my foot on the neck of this hijack. Because for real, it's static. It's interference patterns. You know what I mean? And I love my brothers and I love my sisters, man. We truly do it for the Ahab. You know what I mean? But that don't mean it can't be real at the same time. You know what I mean? This is real. It really is too late for this. You know what I'm saying? It's too late for the hijack. It's too late to try to, cross bridges and form bridges to hijack. You don't need to form a bridge to the hijack. You need to separate, clearly separate the hijack. Make it clear. Shinshu, slice and dice. And the hijack will have an opportunity to choose up because they can see the clear separation. You can't try to bridge to the hijack because then they'll never get it. They'll never see. Not when you're trying to be them, calling on their God, marching to their drum. You are not the victor when you're marching to their drum. Sometimes we outsmart ourselves and we got to empty our cups. Empty your cups. And keep it pure water, keep it direct, and keep it clear at every step we take. This is our investigation. Joshua leads his people. Kitzikotu leads his people to the promised land. And Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the Ruah. We're talking mama. For Moshe had laid his hands upon him. And the children of Israel hearkened unto him, and did as Ahchwa commanded Moshe. And there have not risen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moshe. So when you talk Moshe, you're talking prophet. And when he laid his hands on Joshua, you're talking prophecy, man. So when he starts to prophesy, don't say, what? That must be crazy. That must be hijack. Joshua's prophesying? Yes. He studied under a prophet. He is a prophet. And according to the Quran, Joshua's the son of Miriam. Phantoms. Duplication. Joshua's the son of Miriam. Yeah, man. So you got Jesus and Mary, you got Joshua and Miriam. Jesus and Mary, Joshua and Miriam, who herself is a prophetess. So you got Uncle Moses, the prophet, right? You got Uncle Moses, and there has not risen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses. Moses is a prophet. He's also a priest king. Remember, he's the king of Cush for 40 years. Got an honorable discharge. Then got thrown in a dungeon for 10 years. Then came out and saved all of you. There has not arisen a prophet since Moshe in Israel, whom Ahchwa knew face to face. And what did this prophet do that there's never arisen a prophet like him? There's never arisen a prophet like him. Moshe laid his hands on Joshua. Now Joshua was full of the spirit, full of the ruach of wisdom. And now Joshua himself is a prophet. And he's prophesying about Dawid, whom Joshua says, Hosea, Joshua, Hosea, Joshua, Hosea, Joshua, Hosea, Hosea, who Moses called Joshua. Hosea, who Moses called Joshua, is prophesying about David. Well, he already prophesied about David, Hosea 3:5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek Ahchwa and David, their king, and they gonna respect their creator and his goodness in the latter days. Because in the latter days, it has been prophesied in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 9. But now they shall serve their creator and David their king, whom I will raise up. Raise up. Quam. To raise. Quam. Like the Qumran fragments, right? Whom I will raise up for them. David. My servant David shall be their Khan. Forever. We're just talking prophecies, and we're just talking Ahchwa of heaven will reside with him forever. We're just surfing the wave with the prophets and the prophecy of Hawa Shua or Hosea. Allah Hawa, Shabbat Shalom to the home team. Keep surfing the wave, be fearless, and keep that Ahab shining strong for your neighbor, for your brother, for your sister. Ahab to all the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Just purifying yourselves, man, because by doing that, you're purifying us. And peace to the bros that's purifying yourselves, because by doing that, you're purifying your sisters. Drop Nation, we Quan.